just picking up where we left off, where we were working with our world, playing with the dimensions of it. We should be able to run our tests, but don't forget. Or just ignore that for now. So, world, next test. Here we go. And so, what we need to do is we need to continue on here. So we need to add units. So test should add unit to correct partition. Now this actually brings out an interesting point, is the unit needs to have vision. Do we have that? Is the next question. So let's go back to our game server, lib, game server, models, unit stats. Instead of cd, let's just vi it. We have a vision, and it is an integer. So we can do pixels, right? So we could make it a radius, which is useful. So now we need to figure out the radius. We can make it simple and make it a square out of the radius. So, oops, not gnet. Yeah. So, just for simplicity's sake, we're going to create a new. That's fine. So, let's get our toolbox up. Oh, that's too small. Okay, so we have our unit. Let's make it red. There's our unit right in the middle. Now we want to say our vision is, 20 pixels. But what we can do is we can go 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels, 20 pixels. And instead of making a circle, we can just make this a square, and that'll be their vision area, like that. So that's the goal we're going for. So what we can do, one thing we don't have is we don't really have any rectangular utilities, much like we don't have, much like our rectangle in our front end. Here. So we got intersects contains point. And so what we could do is we could build out something like this, so we have a some sort of mathy thing. This should be pretty easy because we have all of our math here for us. So let's build that. And we're going to stare at a login screen for a minute, so why not? We're going to put this under... It's interesting to have it as its own app. Let's do it in the world for now. Live rectangle. Def module world rectangle. Okay, and we're going to do def struct x 0 y 0 width 0 height 0. And it's interesting because I think we already have something that is like that. We have a partition. So I wonder if or we have a dimension actually. It just might even be better. So let's save this dimension, and that is basically the same thing. So we're just going to go with this. So that's a good plan, right? I think so. The rectangle. We'll just go with the dimension. And with our dimension, we're going to need another tmux maps world vi test dimension test access. We're going to need a new window, apps world vi lib dimension, and def module world dimension test to use x unit case async true. Do we need a setup? No, probably not. Should test to should return true if dimension contains a point. And so we're going to create a dimension which is a alias to world dimension percent dimension x. I'll do 20 z 80 or 90. Width is going to be 60, height will be 40. Make some weirdness to figure out, but that's fine. And then we're going to say assert world dimension contains 30, and we need to pass the dimension 30 and 110. Okay. Def contains xz and we need the dimension. There we go. And just look here. Ooh, what? Here we just say dim x greater than or equal to x, and dim x less than or equal to, this is correct, x plus, let's see here, that's not right. So x, dim x, and x is greater than or less than dim dot x plus dim dot width, and y is greater than or equal to dim dot y, and y is less than or equal to dim dot y plus dim dot height. Okay. And that should do the trick. Except for when we name things wrong. pass. Okay. Test. Should return true if top left dimension intersects. And it's like top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, whole thing. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. If contains entire dimension, if fits within entire dimension. There we go. So we should be able to do all of these at once. So doing one, I'm going to just add that in there. Doing 2 equals that one. The next one's going to be, so we want it the top left. Dimension intersects. Then 1 and 2. F intersects. Then 1 and 2. And okay. And so we need to push the, let's make it the second one that has to checking in. So I'm going to bring it back 10 and up to, what are the 40? It's 40 high 5. Okay. Top right means it's going to go 60, 80, so 70. Bottom left. So this would be 90 plus 40 would be 120. And then this would be 70, 120, and this one needs to be 10 and 50, so it's behind it, and the width would be 600 and 400, it would definitely engulf it, and then this one here would be, since it would be 30, 100, and then smaller, so 50, 30. We should have a ton of feeling tests. Back to the bottom left, bottom right. There we go. So now we can do it this way. So return. So, we need I guess we don't really need the parentheses, it's all going to evaluate. So let's do contains dim1, dim2 x, dim2 z, and contains dim1, dim2.x plus dim2.width, and dim2.z. And contains dim1, dim2.x, dim2.z plus dim2.height, and contains dim1, dim2.x plus dim2.width, dim2.z plus dim2.height, and contains what is this? I don't understand that. So that's the dim1, these are supposed to be 4. So dim2, dim1.x, dim1.z, or contains dim2, dim1.width, dim1.height. Passed. So we've got that in place. Okay. Now, let's go back here, and let's start figuring this out. We need to find out. So, our dimensions are our keys. And so what we can do is when we add unit, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to say alias main server.roles. It's unit stats. Unit stats equals unit stats I thought we just looked this out. There we go. Let's and unit type ID. I think we don't need anything with vision, so let's just do vision. And we'll do 80. Okay. Now we should be able to do. We need to mock a battle unit. Battle unit. Drop this here. Let's put it here. And we need to set this up in a separate describe block, I think. Describe creates world partitions. Do end. So we need to run our setup here. Oops. Delete, put back there. There we go. And then here, describe adding and removing units. And put setup end and so work here and then okay. And then we need to set up this piece. So that sets up the world. I think we also want to return the world PID and set world PID that. We can mock the battle unit at this point under that PID. And then we can let's see here. Let's take a look at our battle unit. Battle unit. If we get our unit, we have to create one. So we need to create a unit. And at that point, we can get our unit stats. Okay, so we're going to need to get the battle unit battle unit. That's kind of weird. And we just need unit stats. How we get our position X and Y. So position X, 0, position Z actually. Yeah, 0. And we just need our unit stats. Unit stats. And that we can assign later. So battle unit, battle unit. To the side, I might be able to put this here. Let's do that instead. Put that there. And we can say unit stats, unit stats. We don't need this anymore. Okay. I think. Okay, so yeah, it's still in good gears. Now, when we say world server, add unit, because it's the battle unit, and we want it to be part of, add it to one partition. Just make it as simple as possible. So here and here. So we add the unit. Search, that was okay. And then we can do search was called world partition, add unit, battle unit, and syntax here, and that should be called once. Oops. We should get a fail on that one. I didn't even return the right thing, so let's one step at a time. Oops, how do I keep thinking it's going to work? So we are getting a nil. We probably need to mock world partition under this PID. Let's see if that helps. There we go. So now what we can do is we know our dimensions. So if we get our unit, so we need to make a dimension out of this. So unit dimension equals dimension unit position X minus their vision. So vision equals unit dot Kind of wondering if we should fetch the. We have the unit. Sort of a weird thing, but I'm just gonna stick with it. So, unit stats dot vision. And minus the vision. So that's going to be x. Okay, and then unit position z minus the vision. Okay, and then unit width is, this is going to be x z width is going to be unit position x plus the width, which doesn't make sense, would be plus the vision. Yep, and then height is unit position z plus vision. So that's our unit dimensions. Now we need to get the dimension we need out of our state. So we can do the math here, because we have the width and height. So I guess the interesting thing is that we don't know which partition to put it into. So we set up all the partitions. Curious here, so we might need this. RU inspect partition. Mix text. So we have all the partitions. So I'm actually going to take this out. And we still need that. So this is a little bit tricky. We could have it return the partitions they're associated with, and that way we can test it better. And so let's do that. We're going to return a Wait a minute. We don't even need our battle unit. This way. When we add a unit, we need to pass the PID though. PID. PID. This is going to return a list of dimensions. How do we define that dimension? List. Here we can actually have the dimension match on x, which would be 0, z 0, width 1600, height 1600. Okay, so that should do it. So now we can get these all started in, so now we can get our def handle call. Get dimension. Get dimensions. And we'll pass it a dimension from, and this is our dimensions and our partitions. Okay, and then our reply will be some list and our dimensions and partitions need to stay the same. Now we got a problem. We got a huge problem. We have a dimension. Oh, we do map one, so that's fine. So this is going to be our dims. I wonder if we should break this down into a simpler function. Probably should. So def get dims PID, and that's going to be our dimension end, and we're going to go gen server call PID dimension. And that's that. Alright, so I think I'm going to test should get intersecting dimensions. Intersecting dimensions. We need our world did and skip. And here looks like that's going to be probably a... We probably just need the PIDs. So, it's kind of a weird thing. Because that's all we need. Get partitions. Parts. Parts. That's what we need. Alright. Run out of time. I need to get running, but this is on our right path. So, happy coding. See you guys tomorrow.